Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. We're back and we have an exclusive for you. We have with us our good friend, Isaac Chilemba. Isaac, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good to see you, good. Man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
So, how was the old Christmas for you, and how did you celebrate, or did you celebrate it?
No, I didn't do anything special, just home. It was just close friends and family, and that was it.
Did you eat a lot of chicken and turkey, or did you kind of?
It didn't feel like Christmas as it used to be.
Yeah.
We celebrate, but I mean, you can't do much. We couldn't go anywhere. We just have to do it at home. So yeah, at least we're here. We're in the new year now.
Absolutely. So, did you make any New Year's resolutions, or did the old year go okay, and you're just rolling on for a new year?
You know what? My New Year resolution was just hopefully we'll get over this COVID. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's affecting everyone around the world. So, obviously, the last time we spoke, you weren't sure whether you'd be fighting or not because obviously COVID and the pandemic and everything was thrown upside down. I know that you were saying you were keeping yourself in shape and keeping yourself active. Now, go ahead.
I try to keep myself in shape, keep running every now and then. We're back in a gym training, but it's not the same where you have these restrictions of how much you can do and with the hours and stuff. Like even though we open with still on hours, there's certain hours you can be on out in the street running and stuff, and back to work, and they just take everything out of me, I would say.
So the restrictions we got in the UK, we have that gyms can at one point the gyms could be open, but only for professional fighters could train. And then the country was in complete lockdown. The British Boxing Board of Control told us that there'd be no boxing. And apparently, Eddie Hearn mentioned something to the British Boxing Board of Control and said to him, "Listen, if you don't want to open things up for professional fighters, it's okay. We'll go abroad." So now on the 15th of February, British boxing for professional boxers is open back up again. So what's the situation here with South Africa? Has any promoter said, "Look, you better open this up or we're going to go elsewhere and box," or what's the situation?
There were a few guys talk about giving us a chance to open up the gyms, but they never give us the chance. It was all to do with the whole country lockdown rules when they lift up some of the restrictions, and the gyms were allowed to open and we could get back to the gym. But of course, we've got a certain number that can be the gym at a time.
Yes.
And we have to follow all the stuff like sanitizing and checking temperature and all of that. So we're trying to keep the gym safe from COVID, using the sanitizer and using the fork every week, try to keep it COVID free. But coming out of that such large or huge lockdown, it wasn't easy to get back into it like used to be when you take a break and come back into the gym. Now it was like starting from the beginning again.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think that you lost during COVID? I mean, I would have thought during a lockdown that your body would have restored more. You've probably had more fights in you now because of the COVID, and your body would have kind of rejuvenated. Is that the case?
Yes, it did that for the first few weeks or a month or 2 months, but then the body now the muscle memory started losing its memory because it was just long. We're under lockdown for more than six months.
Yeah.
So now you can see everybody getting back in the gym, they're sluggish, and I mean, apart from fitness itself, it's just even the timing is not there. The guys are not the same. Like it would take a little while, a lot of training, a lot of sparring to get back your eyesight, get back your body to where it used to be. So that's what I think took a lot of guys during the lockdown.
Wow.
I mean, even I've been watching fights going on. They're not the same anymore. Like the guys are not performing the same as they used to be. for example, the Canelo and the Smith fight.
Yes.
I expected Canelo to put more, and I know Smith took out a short notice, if I'm not mistaken, but I expected Canelo to put more action into it. And at the end of the day, we just watched the guys walking around in the ring for 12 rounds. Because the lockdown took a lot out of guys. The performance would take at least maybe towards the end of this year, the guys will pick up their performance again.
That's very interesting you say that. Very interesting. So
Yeah.
how do you stay mentally switched on during these times?
It's very hard. I won't lie. It's very hard just to keep yourself motivated. I mean, I tried. At least I've got enough around my house. I've got enough space where I can run up and down and do some stuff. And I've got a bag outside the house, and I can every now and then I will hit it. But it wasn't the same. It's not the same as doing it at the gym or be able to go to the gym and run. It wasn't the same. Just trying to keep myself sane. Otherwise, I was going to lose it.
And what does that look like when you say lose it? What does that look like for a fighter? I know there's great deep parts of depression you can go into, for not wanting to come back ever again and fight.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm not sure about not wanting to come back to fight. It's just missing the actual fight.
Right.
This gave me a bit of what will happen if I retire today. If I choose to retire today, what depressional period I'll go through. I remember watching a little clip a while ago of Miguel Cotto. They were addressing, I think it was after he lost to Pacquiao or somebody, or if I'm not mistaken, it was someone after Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And he was talking about to his wife about retiring. His wife was saying, "Hey, I hate to see you get hurt like this. I think it's time to call it quit." And the girl Cotto turned out to his wife and said, "This is all I know. What I'm gonna do. Boxing is all I know."
I think that was for I think I was in the preparation for the Mayweather fight. May have been the Mayweather fight.
I think it was that. Yeah, and he told us, "This is all I know. What I'm gonna do now." You know, so that's what I was going through. I was sitting and saying, "Okay, now what? We don't know when we're gonna fight again. The age is not on our side. As much as we not productive, we're not doing anything. We're still aging. And out of this, what are we gonna do now?" And then got me a time to think about the retirement. I always think about it. I'm heading towards the retirement. Then I got scared. I was like, what will happen if I retire today? What I'm gonna do? Because that was almost like, that was like a little bit of that. Yeah.
I think you question your the fighter psyche of being invincible. It'll never come to an end. I won't retire. I'm always going to be fighting. And then there's that reality that
the reality kicks in. Like, okay, when I was in my 20s, at the beginning of my career, I never thought of retirement. I never thought that day would come. But now, being in my 30s, I know I can do this forever. And time is going by so quickly. I mean,
does that give you? Does it give you a greater appreciation of your career? Does that make you appreciate every time you hit a bag, every time you go in the gym, every time a contract is signed for a fight, every opponent you face? It's now
that's what it is. Like, okay, I've made a lot of mistakes. I've got lesson a couple of times. This doesn't last long. I mean, the career is so short. So now I have to do whatever I can to complete at the top. Because I used to think, okay, I'm gonna do this again tomorrow. But now thinking about it, I'm like, all right, it was like an eye opener.
So if you go back to all of your fights, track back, and I'm going to go back particularly fights against KOVALEV and Bellew and these guys. Do you think now, in kind of retrospect, looking back, now you've got lockdown, you would never have thought you would have had the opportunity to sit back for so long, forced to sit back for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, if I told you that, Isaac, for the next year you ain't going to box, not because you're not fit, but there's going to be a world pandemic, and the world's going to be turned upside down, and you're not going to be allowed to box. You'd laugh at me, go, "Hey, you a bit crazy."
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Now you're in it. and you can look back and look at those fights, could you look at yourself and say, I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate that Kovalev fight. I didn't appreciate that Belly fight. I didn't appreciate. I was in the moment doing it, and I was training. I was in the best shape of my career, and I did all these things. Now looking at it, looking back.
Yeah, of course. I do appreciate every opportunity I've faced in my life. And I mean, there's so much fighters out there. There's thousands of us that wants to reach that level. And talking about out of Africa, there's a lot of fighters that are trying to get up there. Then sometimes I look at myself and say, well, I made it out there. Why me? Must be something. It must be some high power. God, whoever it is, chosen me to give me that opportunity to go as far as I've done. I know I've messed up a couple of times, but yet I'm still given a chance to go
again
around the world and do this thing.
How does that make you feel?
I do appreciate. I thank God each and every day for that opportunity that I was given.
And now I understand. You just told me, you text me, and I appreciate it so much that the fight is on. You are fighting on February 20th. Who are you fighting against?
I'm fighting FEDOR CHUDINOV.
Okay, we know him. He fought.
Yeah, he fought Judge Groves. He got stopped by Judge Groves.
He fought Umar Sadiq.
Yes, he did. Yes.
What did you think of that fight, the Umar Sadiq fight?
You know what? I didn't watch much of that. I watched the highlights, and you know, he gave him a good fight, but shouldn't have. I believe won the fight. It was a good fight. Yeah,
because I think he went in there. I mean, I've lost the gentleman's name. Umar Sadiq. He had never fought at that level before. That was his first step up fight,
and he tried.
He did really well.
Yeah, he did very well.
So obviously you're a more experienced fighter. You've been there, you've seen it, you've done that. So he's champion, isn't he? Is he not?
No, he's not. He's not a champion.
What happened? I thought did he beat Sadiq for the championship?
That I'm not so sure. I didn't look up into those details yet.
I thought he was champion.
I just saw the highlights. I just wanted to see how he did because I was meant to fight him, if you remember.
Were you? I didn't know that.
We spoke about it. I said I'm gonna fight at a super middleweight.
You did, but you never said who you were going to fight at super middleweight. We were just talking about potential fighters.
Oh, yeah, we had a contract signed.
Now it comes out. Now it comes out. Yes, cheers, Isaac. Typical box. Yeah, I told you had a contract. I told you.
We had a contract signed. We were meant to leave for Russia, and it was just a week before the fight. We are meant to leave. I believe it was on Sunday or Monday. We're about to leave, and they told us, no, hold on, we might go under lockdown. We're like, what's going on? What you mean they're going to go under lockdown? They're going to shut down all the travels. They said yes, and just got a day later to shut down. We couldn't get on a plane, and we're actually on the way to the airport. We're actually on the way to the airport. Yeah. Then somewhere in between 2020, I think it was in June, July, we got contacted. They were saying they wanted us to fight him again because the fight was put on pause. So we are told, first of all, him and his previous promoter, they were not working together anymore. He's with the new promoters, and they would like to negotiate their fight. And they asked if we could go to Russia to fight. I said, listen, my team, my money said, we're still under lockdown, complete lockdown. We haven't been in a gym whatsoever. There's no flights leaving or coming in South Africa. So there's no way we can fight. Then they said, okay, then we're going to cancel the whole contract you had previously. And it was canceled, and he fought this guy we're just talking about. I think it was in October or something like that. He fought him. then part of me thought it would never happen again. Up until recently, last Friday, we got contact to say, would you like to fight in Russia? Would you fight CHUDINOV on February 20th? I said, we look at the times. Okay, we've got only 4 weeks of training. It's 5 weeks to the fight, but yeah, I'll be ready for it. And we took the fight.
So you've taken a fight with 4 or 5 weeks notice. That's strategic, because obviously he's in shape already, I guess. He's already in shape.
Yeah, but I know I've seen him fight, and I know how he fights. I kind of figure out how he fights, and I know my fitness levels now. I can't say I'm fit to fight tomorrow, but in 4 weeks time, I'll be fit to fight.
Will you be competitively fit to fight?
Yeah. I mean, a fighter is a fighter. He will be standing in front of me fighting back. So I can't say it's going to be easy fight, or I know I'm up against a competition. I'm up against someone who's coming there to win the fight as well.
So I thought he was a champion, because I didn't think he lost his belt. I thought he won the belt versus Sadiq for the championship.
I'm not sure. I mean, we got a contract. We haven't signed it yet. There's a few things that we need to work on it. So I am, in fact, signing the contract tomorrow. Then and all I know is a 10-rounder. That's what they said when they offered. And when we're signing a contract tomorrow, I will be able to tell whether we're fighting for the title or not.
Well, if it's a 10-rounder, it won't be for the title. A 10-rounder is just a 10-rounder international bout. But why would you? Yeah. Why would you fight him not for the title? Because he fought Sadiq and he was champion.
Yeah, I mean, myself now I'm out of ring for more than a year now. Last time I fought was December 2019. So I wouldn't mind to get into a 10-rounder fight, getting back into it.
Yeah, but that's a fight. Technically, it would be for world title. Surely, if you're going to come back and fight, you may and take that chance and go to Russia, then you might as well fight for the world title. Hey, listen, when you sign that contract, get him to throw the world title in and get that 12-round fight, mate.
You know, we're just getting an opportunity we can get. I mean, there's been since, I believe, December last year, before all these restrictions lifted, we had few offers. And some of them will look at them like, okay, maybe, you know, just to get back in the ring, I'll do it. Some of them were like, no, I can't take this fight. It doesn't make sense to me. Up until we got this. So there was other fights that we were looking at, that we've been offered. But after we got this offer, I prefer to take this fight than others.
Were there get any British fighters, those contracts?
No, unfortunately not.
Unfortunately not.
But there was a talk. It was going to be at super middleweight as well. Hopefully it will happen sometime soon.
Against a British fighter?
Yes. There was, but it was just like a talk. So I don't know if I can say who it is now, but it was just a talk that we're waiting to see if that will happen or not.
Isaac Chilemba against Rocky Fielding. What about that?
Rocky Fielding. I haven't seen much of him, but you know, right now, as much as I'm getting towards the end of my career, I'm still at a peak. I don't think all these youngsters can do anything to me yet.
So so you look at the CHUDINOV fight. What does CHUDINOV do well, you think? And what do you think you bring to the table? Clearly, you're more experienced. My concern for you, at your age, and I hate to bring it up, is light heavyweight coming down to super middleweight. You know I'm going to say to you straight away, brother, the weight drop. I mean, you're a professional. You know what you're doing, but doesn't that take anything away from your durability and stuff like that?
I think I told you this last time. The only reason why I moved up to light heavyweight from super middleweight is I just did enjoy the idea of losing weight. I enjoy just cutting weight into the position where I am feeling good. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling I've got the speed, and I'm fit. But I don't want to get to that level and start now struggling to lose weight and spending nights with no food or water. I never want to do that ever again. So yeah, I know now I'm going to put myself into that position again. But this time, I don't know if it's experience or what, but it's going to be easy.
Does that mean you're not going to eat and drink?
No, I will. I will. Back then, I used to, I was stupid back then. I used to lose weight a week of a weigh-in or start losing weight 2 weeks to the fight. Now I know, even though we could given 4 weeks, the folks of training, these folks, that's when I'm gonna, while I'm getting myself back in shape, I mean, putting my everything together, I'll be losing weight. By the time we are getting on the plane leaving for Russia, I'll be already in super middleweight division.
Will that affect your durability, or you're able to go 12,
No,
10 rounds?
in fact, I think it will give me more speed and strength, cutting down some extra pounds.
I see so many fighters that lose weight and then they go down in weight, and then they say I can make the weight still.
A lot of guys have been like that, but I know myself. I know how my body functions.
What is it about? What is it for you now, Isaac? Tell me. 2021, because of the lockdown, a fight is just taking fighters because it's the opportunity to fight and make money, or is it the case of, well, I'm a fighter, I'm always ready? Now,
for me, is first of all, I'm a fighter, I'm always ready. That's a great statement. And I still got dreams. I've got a goal which I haven't reached yet, and I'm still chasing that goal before I can say, you know what, I'm giving up this sport. And my goal is to become one of the greatest in the world. And in order to do that, I have to fight the best, get up there, win a couple world championship. So far in my career, I've won one world championship at super middleweight, IBO. Now I'm chasing some more in the major ones. I would like to hold WBA, WBO, WBC, IBF, one of those, or all 4 of them, be unified champion. Then there I'll be happy to say bye to boxing.
So you still have ambitions to become a champ again. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to know. I want to know if what you are about.
Yeah, that's what I'm chasing on now. It's not about the money or this or that. It's about achieving my goals. And once I reach that level, if I can, when I get to be unified champion, I don't care even about defending my belts. I'll hang up and say, that's it, I've reached it.
So CHUDINOV, the first man on the list for 2021, the hit list. What sort of threat does CHUDINOV bring to your vision, your dream?
You know, he's ranked number 3 in the super middleweight. He's 3 in the world, so he's a high-ranked fighter. He's got only 2 losses on under his belt, and he lost to some of the best fighters. One of them being George Groves. Or let me say, well-known fighters. He didn't just lose to nobody. So fighting him, I don't know where he's gonna put me. Defeating, I don't know where he's gonna put me when it comes to rankings in the light heavyweight. But if I decide to stay in the super middleweight, then I'll be automatically in top 10 because I've just defeated a top 3 fighter. So it's a great fight for me to get back into high rankings in just 1 or 2 fights.
Are you concerned going to Russia? You know, the old tricks that they can play when you go to Russia. You know, the accommodation where you're going to sleep, put you next to a place where there's a construction site.
Jerusalem always make sure she's got everything under control, and before we get there, everything will be done in time. Because I know if we step out of that plane and what we agreed on is not what it is, we are turning back and get back on a plane and back to South Africa.
Woo!
Yeah, so I know that.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, so I know everything, and I think we're dealing with some. I mean, I'm fighting one of the top fighters in the world. That means his team, his promotion, and his management team, and the matchmakers. They all rigid. They all know how this is supposed to be done. They will do everything according to what is we agree on and how it's supposed to be. So I don't expect anything like that whatsoever.
So, but you've had the experience of fighting Russia before. You fought, of course, Sergey Kovalev, right?
Yeah.
In Russia. How was that experience in terms of getting there, the hotel, the food?
It was a great experience for me. And when I went to Russia for the first time, yes, it was against Kovalev. I was very skeptical because all I knew about Russia is what I heard from people about Russians are like this, Russians are like that. And when I get there, I already had that defensive mode on me, knowing what I'm walking to according to what I heard. Yes. And when we go there, I found out it's completely opposite to what people say what Russians are about. You know, and I tend to enjoy Russia more than I thought. And I love Russian people. We communicate well, and they are actually they are nice people.
Yes.
One thing I love is because they're not confident with their English, I believe, and so if you're speaking English and you're not interested, they're not sure if they saw.
Yes.
And I think they were born with this straight poker face looking. Yeah, they just look like. So everybody look at that and say, they're very cordial. They don't know. But once you tickle them a bit until they warm up a bit and they can try to talk back to you, even though you're not understanding each other very well, they're actually nice people. They're like now start communicating with you and they feel comfortable with you. And
I think I've never fought in Russia, but I guess I think I'm guilty of that. You're going to Russia, you're gonna have to knock the guy out. Be careful of the food. Be careful of the drink. Be careful of the hotel room.
Everybody knows about that, and those kind of tricks of be careful of the food and people running. It's everywhere around the world. And yes, of course, there's other countries that they're well known for that, and Russia, apparently, is one of them. Me myself, I've never experienced that. But you know what, my team and I, we're always ready for such kind of things. And I'm sure if we presented with something like that, we'll be able to handle it.
So,
or let me say, we will figure it out before it gets out of hand.
So do you have your own chef, or are you going to have a Russian chef?
No, we're going to have to use Russian chef, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've got our way of dealing with it.
You don't take your own chef with you. You can't just pull a girl over with you. Just pull a girl over with you, man. Chef, you know.
We know what to do when we're there. Both times we've been there, everything's been okay because we figured out. And we do this. I can't review here what we do, but we do it when we go anywhere, not only Russia. Okay. That if anything, nothing can happen.
And the water, you check the water as well. Make sure your water's okay.
Yeah, no, I can drink water out of a glass. I have to be out of a bottle. I have to open it myself, of course. And I have to hear the click that this bottle is being opened.
The click.
Yeah.
Because there have been stories of people going to Russia and getting popped dirty for this. And we'll come on to that in a minute. Popping dirty for, eating contaminated meat, contaminated food. Well, that was in Mexico. That wasn't even in Russia. But yeah, contaminated meat, people popping for PEDs. These are things that obviously associate with fights that have gone to Russia and have fought in Russia. I remember even when Tyson Fury, when he fought in Germany, he went, don't give me those bottles of water. Where did those bottles of water come from? He's like, no, because he was aware and he was clued up to see what was what and where what was. And, fighters have to be aware of these things now. It's not just about, I've got gloves, I'll fight. There are situations where, obviously he's a home fighter. They're going to want to do the best they can for the home fighter. Why would they do something to suit you? They're going to do something to suit them. Yeah. Is it anything in particular that you would be, as a fighter, you would want? Like, would you stay in the same hotel? Would you No,
if I know the place I'm going to, they're known for that, I wouldn't stay in that hotel whatsoever. I'll rather use my own money to book myself a hotel where I'll feel safe. And if I know that I know for sure where I'm going is known for that. I won't even eat at the restaurant that we've been told to go to. I would rather take a cab every day, go down into their city and look for somewhere where they have no idea who I am and eat there and spend my own money.
You're gone. Isaac James Bond Chilemba. You're going in, you're going to get the job done, and you're going to come out.
They come out, that's it.
Right. So is this is mission possible? Is it possible for you? Do you believe that you can beat Chilemba?
Yes, I will definitely. I mean, now I won't take anything away from him. He's a good fighter, but with my style and his style, when I look at it and weigh them, yeah, no, it's.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to say it's gonna be easy fight for me, but I can't say that because he's a fighter who's coming also to fight. But I know I'll be able to handle him easily.
There are things also you look at in terms of like drug testing and it's for yourself as a fighter. Do you demand drug testing? Do you make sure that your fight is going to be?
No. You know, one thing I know about myself is I always say to myself, I would rather get in this game, get beaten up, win some, lose some, as long as I know whatever I did, however I won or however I lost, I won it clean. When I win the fight, I know I win clean. There was nothing extra that gave me that win. And so I don't believe in all that. Sometimes I don't even believe the dragging and stuff can actually give you power, even though people they say it does give you extra stamina and extra power and stuff like that. I don't believe. I would rather use my own body to what God gave me and use it to compete than trying to use all this stuff to enhance my performance.
What has Roy Jones said to you about this fight? Have you spoken to him about it?
He's happy about it. He's looking forward to it as well.
Oh, Roy loves Russia. Roy is he's Mr. Russia anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's looking forward to it. We can't wait to get back to get up there.
Will Roy be singing you to the ring? Will he be rapping you to the ring?
Yes.
He will rap you to the ring.
Yes, we'll be together.
Will he sing? Will he can't be touched, can't be moved, can't be rocked?
Rap to the ring. Oh, I thought you were saying he's looking. No, I'm not sure about that. No.
That'd be nice though.
I'm sure if I asked him, he can do it, but nah.
He's your trainer. See what we do.
Maybe him and I make our own track, then we can use that. We can all sing together. And we can play the worst song ever.
Yeah, together. So, while we're talking about popping dirty and stuff, I have to talk about your old adversary, Sergey KOVALEV. Apparently, he's popped dirty.
Yeah, I heard about it. I saw the news on Fat News.
How does that make you feel, being a previous opponent of Sergey KOVALEV, and the stories that have been lurking around about his career before?
I mean, I always had this. I always had this thoughts or this idea that he might be on the stuff, especially at the beginning of his career where he was just knocking everybody out. And if everybody says taking all this stuff can give you so much strength, speed, power, endurance, then it really worked for him. But I think as the rules about the testing and everything lifted, and the WBC came up with this idea, which is a great idea ever, where they can just pop up at the gym or to your house and just come and do the drug testing. I believe it was a great idea, and I'm very disappointed in him. I thought what he showed, what he did, it was all God-given strength, God-given abilities. I didn't know that he was all into this. I mean, this is a man I fought, and I can't believe that when we fought, he was actually on such kind of stuff.
So when he was hitting you and punching you, with this punch, did you feel his punching power? Because he was knocking everybody out at one point.
Yeah, you know, something about myself, I really don't feel the punches. I mean, I know he dropped me, and it was just because it was a punch that I didn't see. It was a quick, accurate punch that I didn't see. And my break got shook a bit. But it wasn't because he possessed power or anything. I barely feel that my opponent's power. Maybe if we're in sparring, like as I said last time, maybe if we're in sparring where I'm relaxing, my mind is not on the fight mode. I'm just practicing what I have to practice. Then I'll feel the power. There's certain guys that I'll hit. I feel, oh, okay, that was a good shot. But in a fight, I barely feel the power. My mind went to the certain mode where I barely feel anything. Only afterwards, that's how I feel it. After the fight.
Yeah, of course you feel after the adrenaline's gone, and yeah, of course you feel after the fight. Ouch, that hurt.
Yeah, now touching myself here, I'd be like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, I got beaten up a bit.
Wow. Does that make you look back at that fight of KOVALEV and say to yourself, hey, I got beat by a cheat. I should reverse the decision. Do you think that, or do you think that is what it is?
No, it is what it is. I mean, it happened. It's a moment that we can't relive. It happened years ago, and you know. And the KOVALEV also is that I don't know if he's gonna fight again after this. I mean, they're gonna have to ban him for maybe a year or so. And when he come back, I don't think it's gonna be the same after the COVID lockdowns. Now it's taking an extra year of being banned. I don't think it's gonna be the same. I don't know if he's gonna make it back. So you know, we all have our own journeys. We all have our own route that we take, and it is what it is.
Okay, next up in the light heavyweight division, Anthony Yarde for a King Arthur. What did you think of the fight between Anthony Yarde and Arthur?
Fortunate enough, I watched round by round. I still don't know how or what really happened for the judges to see the other guy winning. I thought Anthony Yarde won the fight.
Wow, you thought Yarde won the fight?
Anthony Yarde won the fight. I can't say round by round, but he did better than the other guy did.
I thought the other guy dominated the fight behind the jab.
Maybe if I watched it live, because watching live is different to watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
But watching on a video on YouTube, because I watched it a day later after the fight, and I couldn't believe my eyes what I was looking at. I mean, it was close fight.
Now the other guy was a champion, by the way. The other guy was a champion.
He was a champion, but I think Anthony Yarde did better job to take that championship away from the champion. And that's in my eye. Maybe.
Wow.
I can't qualify as a judge whatsoever, but I think Anthony Yarde won the fight. I still can't believe how it was judged.
Wow. We're looking at that fight and looking at with Anthony Yarde. Is that a fight that you would look at taking at light heavyweight? Or is that now you?
Yeah, I would if I was given a chance, and depending on what's on the stake. Just fighting the guy, no, it's not going to take me anywhere. But if there is a title that we have to fight for, then I'll do it. I mean, right now, if there's a championship like other fights that I was offered previously, that I had guys with only 9 fights, some of them 5 fights. And I was like, for what? Why would I fight a kid with 5 fights? Yeah, I don't care about their amateur record. They might be 2-time, 3-time Olympian, and the camera is good. Why I have to fight a kid with the 5 fights? What is going to take me? If it's a world championship, if they say, okay, this guy's got only 5 fights, but he's IBF world champion in light heavyweight. Yes, of course I'll fight because there's that title that I want, but not just a 10-round like that. So I will fight the guy if there's something that I'm fighting for.
Right. Have you ever been approached by Canelo's people? Because
no,
never approached by Canelo's people.
No.
Interesting. He's gonna fight Wildrim. I heard he's gonna fight next at super middleweight. A guy who got knocked out by Chris Eubank Jr. Your stablemate.
I plead the 5th.
I plead the 5th.
You think Chris Eubank Jr. can beat Canelo?
No.
I think Chris Eubank can get on a rocket, can get on a spaceship, go to Mars, go to Jupiter, and learn all type of fighting styles as far as boxing is concerned, and come back here and train for 2 years and get fit, the fight Canelo is still gonna get knocked out. That's my belief. That Canelo, I know I wasn't impressed with his last performance against Smith. I know the guy was way taller for him, but also just walking around, and I know there's all this coming out of the COVID lockdowns and stuff. But right now, if you have to ask me who's the best fighter in the world, to me, there's two guys who are the best in the world right now. Right now, I'm not talking about of all time. I'm not talking about 10 years ago. I'm talking about today. The two best fighters in the world. That's Canelo and Tyson Fury. So, being that I think Canelo have reached those two fights that he had against Mayweather and Shane Mosley, I think took him from just being a world champion fighter to a certain level. And now I think he's untouchable, and Chris Eubank is way too young for him.
You've seen Chris Eubank train up close, right?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, no. So, but you know he's working with Roy Jones, right?
Yeah. When he was there, I was in South Africa.
Right, but from what you've seen of Chris Eubank Jr., is that a fight that you would entertain? Super middleweight, Chris Eubank Jr. If he became world champion, would you fight Chris Eubank Jr.?
If he become a world champion, then I will fight him, most definitely.
You wouldn't think twice about that fight?
Oh, I wouldn't think twice about that fight.
Could you beat him?
Most definitely. It's a fight.
You're very easy fight.
Not being cocky, but to be quite honest, is a fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it that gives you that belief that you'll beat Chris Eubank Jr. easy?
I can see his intelligence level. He's got everybody got a ceiling when you can see how they think. Like earlier when I made a comment on this group on Facebook, they were talking about Joshua Fury fight.
Yes.
And most of the majority believe Joshua will beat Tyson Fury. I'm like, are you mental? Joshua's got a ceiling. You can see where his ability of thinking when he's in the ring. You can see the where it ends. He can think further than that. He can repeat the same thing over and over. He's a bit rigid and stuff like that. He's got good physique. Don't take that away from him. Like he's got a very good physique, but he's a bit rigid and his thinking is not as far as Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury can think things out of box, can do things out of nowhere that no one could expect him to do. And because we look at his body, go like, look at this fat thing, what he's gonna do. But the guy has got very good intelligence when it comes to boxing. I think that's what separates fighters for me. So, like, if you look at Mayweather, I still say Mayweather. Yes, we can say whatever we want to say about Mayweather, about how he fought the top fighters at the end of their career and stuff like that. But he was the only guy who can overcome huge problems when it comes to the ring. It was a guy who could, at the beginning of the fight, the guy can be on top, but towards the middle of the fight and to the end, he will make the guy look completely stupid, like he's never fought before. And we have seen that when the first fight that he managed to do that is when he fought Zab Judah. Zab Judah gave him problems for about 2, 3, 4 rounds, but he overcome that to a point where Zab Judah looked like he can't box at all. And when he fought Shane Mosley, good almost go down, but he managed to overcome that. So he's the only guy who can do this. That takes mind. It's got nothing to do with your boxing abilities or how fit you are or how strong or how hard you can hit. It's how your mind, how you can use your brain to
ring generalship and boxing IQ, 2 key things you're talking about there. Absolutely. Wow. You've got ring deep there.
For me, is the most intelligent heavyweight fighter I've ever seen. I mean, there's some intelligent fighters that I can say they're great, like the Muhammad Ali's and stuff. Man, Tyson Fury for some reason is good. I don't know. I don't know how the guy's mind works, but he's something else.
That is key.
Other guys, they just use their brutal force. That like Mike Tyson, he had that brutal anger in him, and he had that punch, and it's just brutal. He just comes in and hit you until you give up, or until he knocks you out. And you get other guys because they just got good athletic body, like the Klitschko's. Because they were athletic, even though they were rigid, but they were big and they had that power. But then tell you they can do the same thing over and over and over and over, and unfortunately they will end up stopping the guy. But it's not like they're thinking beyond where they are. Tyson Fury can switch things.
What about Lennox Lewis? Where would you put Lennox Lewis?
Yeah, Lennox Lewis as well. He had good intelligence. I wouldn't say as Anthony Joshua. I mean, Tyson Fury, yeah, no, but he had good. He would switch. Okay, if I'm missing with a straight right, he tried to switch to uppercut. He tried to go to the body. He doesn't just do the same thing over and over and try to bully the guy because they're big and stuff and just bully him until the guy give up. No. So he had good intelligence. That's what I take from Tyson Fury. And Joshua, I don't know. You know, by the end of the day, boxing is the most interesting thing, interesting sport. Anything can happen. We might talk all about this, and Joshua will land a jab or something on Tyson Fury, even though I believe Tyson Fury has got the most strongest jaw I ever seen after seeing what he did with Deontay Wilder the first fight.
Yes.
But you never know. He might get hit and go down and never come back up. But for that to happen, I think for me, it's like one in a million chances.
Wow. What do you think of Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell? I'm sure you saw that fight. Because we talked about Ryan Garcia, and you were like...
I mean, Ryan Garcia is overrated. And I'm sure he can be better. He can be a better fighter, but for me, he's not anything special. He's not any of the fighters that I look up to try to watch now. And the guy he fought, I saw him. I saw his last fight. He lost, but he put up a show. He fought back, you know. And I was surprised in this fight he wasn't himself. I think it also had to do with all this lockdown. As I said, took everything out. Because what I've realized with a lot of guys is everybody got their own ways of training. They've got ways of training. So when they prepare for fight, they do this, do big meets, and they will hit the bag, do sparring and this, and they'll stop and do this. They've got that. Now we went under lockdown where no one did anything, no training whatsoever. Come back, start preparing for the fight, and they go back to the way they used to train. I think that's the problem. So when they get to the fight, they look very under trained, and that's what I saw in that guy. And Ryan Garcia, I don't know. I mean, I respect him for coming back up after that. I think it was a left hook or over him.
Yes.
Went down and come back. I respect him for that. Other than that, I don't know. I now they talk about him fighting Gervonta Davis. I think
what do you think of that fight?
They will kill him. Davis will kill him.
He said he'll knock him out in 2 rounds. Ryan Garcia said he'll knock Gervonta Davis like 2 rounds.
I mean, trying to pump up himself, you have to say that. He knows deep inside himself, he knows that. He knows that cannot happen.
Cannot happen.
I think they should try to give him Santa Cruz. Even Santa Cruz, I believe, can outbox him easily. Just Santa Cruz, what he lacks is power. He doesn't have that power. So the kid will feel comfortable to walk into Santa Cruz.
Yes.
But Santa Cruz will be able to outbox him easily. But maybe just to try to, maybe they should give him a Santa Cruz and see what he can do against Santa Cruz. But just to go straight to Gervonta Davis or give him Teofimo Lopez, these guys will murder him. They will murder him.
I said the same thing to Bermain Stamani. He went, huh? Are you serious? Gervonta Davis? And that's like a mini Mike Tyson. Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I would not advise that. I would not advise that.
You madam. I think maybe when Davis is in close to 40, maybe when he's approaching 40, then they can give it to him. But
So,
not now.
EUBANK Jr. signed up with he signed up with his new promotional the Saulins. He was talking about he wants to fight GGG.
Yeah, that can happen. Is possible.
How does he do against GGG?
I think GG is done.
I think he's done too. He's finished.
He's done. Yeah, EUBANK should be okay to do so. They should be okay with it.
Canelo, where's the future of Canelo in your opinion? He won 3 fights this year.
Yeah, he fought 3 fights, but I don't know who else is there for him to fight.
He wants to fight Billy Joe after Vildrim. He wants to fight Billy Joe Saunders.
Billy Joe Saunders. Okay, that would be a good fight. Even though I know he's above Billy Joe Saunders right now, but I think it's going to be a good fight because Billy Joe Saunders can fight as well. Can fight. It's going to be a good fight. You know, there's nothing much for Canelo. That's why I think now he's going up and down divisions, go to super middle and go back to middleweight and he's chasing whoever is there, whatever challenge he can find, because there's not much in his division to fight.
The one person that people want, the 2 people want him to fight is Jamal Charlo, and Andrade. What do you think of Jamal Charlo versus against Canelo?
You know, people, they talk a lot about the Charlo brothers. I don't see anything special in them, to be quite honest. They are good fighters, but they can fight. Maybe they should try to put the Charlos. I don't know about the division. What division? Maybe they can fight Ryan Garcia or something like that. Somebody like that. but not Canelo. No, it's going to be a good fight, a good money fight. But as I said, Canelo, I think is just at a certain level now. He's taken over Mayweather's level.
Okay. What about
Pacman's level right now? Pacquiao's level.
Pacquiao versus Errol Spence.
Pacquiao versus Errol Spence. You know, I mean, that guy still got a lot. As much as he's 42 now. Yeah. But he's still got a lot behind. I mean, Errol Spence is smart and stuff, but I don't know. The kid doesn't like to get hit much, which is what the game is known for. He's about to hit and don't get hit, but I don't know. That we'll have to see when it happens. If you have to ask me about Pacquiao 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would say no, don't do it. But now, yeah, Errol Spence can take him on. We just depend who comes on a game with or not.
Errol Spence, Terence Crawford.
Crawford is so good, huh? That guy is smart. He doesn't look like, though. He looks like some ordinary fighter, like just an ordinary guy. He doesn't look like a fighter. You know, there's the guys that you lay your eye on them and you can see this one is a fighter.
Yeah.
And there's some you go like, really, this guy is a boxer. This guy can fight.
Yeah.
That's how Crawford, but that guy is something else. That guy is a monster. I don't think this kid can do anything to him.
You don't think Spence can beat him?
No. That guy is special. Something in him.
Back at light heavyweight, Dimitri Bivol, a guy I've got a lot of time for. Can he unify?
I didn't feel like he's still fighting.
I still like this. He's still fighting. I like him. I've always liked Dimitri. Sorry, Isaac, but I've always liked Dimitri Bivol. I've always liked him. Is he still fighting?
Bivol. I would like to get a chance on him so I can just take him out once and all.
You would like to get the rematch with him?
I'll just have to take him off. I don't think if I have to fight him, we can go a distance.
I'll have to. when I talk light heavyweight, I'll have to forget his name because I mentioned his name.
He's still a champion, so yeah, you have to talk about him. He's still a champion, but
when you may not talk about it when you're in the room because it seems that there's something there. Oh dear me! And Beterbiev, he's another one. Beterbiev. I mean,
and the guy still possesses a lot of power, though.
he does,
but he's losing his beat is bit slow. So when he fought that kid, when Gotzek,
yes,
yeah, he wasn't what I thought he's gonna be.
yeah,
And he dropped the kid and forced him to retire from boxing. But he's not the same guy anymore. He's still a monster, but he's not the same anymore. So I don't know. And I know they say he's back in training and he might be fighting sometime soon.
but lockdown and managerial problems, they're all big things, eh?
Yeah, they're all big things, yeah. And remember, age is something that is not waiting for any man.
Yeah, you're right. Finally, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones fought. How did you feel about watching your trainer?
I take my hat off to both men. At that age, they thought. I don't think at 50, I would think of getting back in the ring and do some kind of exhibition or anything. I don't think my body will be over that.
Yeah.
My hat off to them, you know. And Mike Tyson, he's always Mike Tyson. He looked like Mike Tyson we know. Roy, we expected more from Roy because we know what Roy was like. Especially for me who knows Roy, I know what Roy can do. If he wanted Mike Tyson to look like a kid, he can do it. But with age and also with all these lockdowns, I don't think they trained as supposed to be. And it was good fight. It was a good fight for the age, and I think it was the most interesting fight of.
It was, wasn't it? It was.
The most important fight of 2020.
And now they're talking about Mike Tyson potentially fighting Evander Holyfield for a third time this year. What do you think? I mean, that's going to be. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, Evander Holyfield, I saw him hitting the bag at this age, and I was like, oh wow, he's going very slow.
Yeah,
he's very slow on the back. But I thought, hold on a second. I watched Evander Holyfield hitting the bag and pads way back when he was fighting, and he always looks slow on the bag. But when he gets in the ring, it's something completely different. Yeah, like the guy is always like, this guy did something good. It will be a very good fight. I hope no one is going to lose the ear, but yeah, I think it's going to be a good
you know what? I thought that they slowed the tape down just a little bit more, slowed it down to make that look really old.
He always looked like that. I remember I even Googled some of his clips hitting the bag, hitting pads. He always looks slow, but when he gets in the ring, he doubles that speed.
If you're Mike Tyson, you've got beat twice by Evander Holyfield. Do you take that third fight? George Foreman says he should avoid it.
That's my worry. I mean, if I lost to a guy twice and years later, no matter how old I am, and I was given a chance to fight him again, then of course I'll get in there. But now I'm not going to get in there as an exhibition. I'm going to go there to revenge, I'll bring my vengeance. Yeah, that's my worry, because Evander Holyfield is such a cool guy, and he thinks this is going to be just like it was with Mike and Roy. But Mike is still Mike. Mike is still that. There's still that, that person in there.
Yes.
Unfortunately, with Roy, I saw a little bit like wants to come out, and he managed to pull that guy back in, and you can see he wants to come out. There was a time where he looked like he's going to kick Roy, but you can see him pulling that guy, that danger Mike to go back. You can see.
Yeah.
But if he's fighting the guy who has beaten him twice, I don't think he'll be able to control that other Mike to come out. I think that other Mike is going to come out. Then I think it's going to end up people jumping into the ring and to try to start. Because Mike will always be Mike. Mike, I don't know. He's a nice guy, yeah, but I think he's got a lot of anger issues behind him. A lot of big anger issues.
I think what you need to do, you need to go on his show and tell him that. You need to go on that boxing show he does and say, Mike, you know,
my goal is to live to 100 at least. I won't do that.
You go, Isaac Chilemba on Mike Tyson show. Mike, I want to tell you, I love you as a fighter, but you got some real issues. You got some real angry issues.
He's got big issues.
You got some big issues.
I know all he needs. It's feel that love for someone to, you know, to nurture that other Mike.
Yeah.
But when you poke him a bit, that other Mike comes out and it's a problem.
I tell you, I've listened to some Mike Tyson interviews in the past. You know, the one in particular where he's got that guy who interviews him, the black guy that interviews him, and says, "Oh yeah, about the rape charge." And Mike Tyson says,
And he was calm. I took my hat off for him when I saw that. I was like, "Wow, Mikey was calm. He was talking while he's sitting there." He said, "You know what? You are the, you know, why are you sitting there?" I thought he was gonna get up and smash him in the head or something.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I mean, for Mike, I admire that about Mike Tyson. I really do, because it's like the guy was out of order. He shouldn't have said what he said up to Mike. And Mike was able to retaliate and say what he had to say about him. And the guy was like stunned. I mean, you'd say those things to Mike Tyson. I mean,
Mike Tyson, no.
But
I think Mike is the kind of guy you have to ask him, what should I say to you now? And he has to tell you what he wants you to say to him. You can just say something out of nowhere. You'll be in trouble.
I personally think that guy was told to say what he said to Mike. I think he.
Yeah, I think it was. He was told to do that. He was like a Mike didn't jump. You know what? For that, I didn't even blame Mike. I think if it was me, I would lose my cool a bit.
Yeah, I would have lost my cool as well.
Yeah, if I was actually in that situation and the guy have to ask me the way he did, I think I also lose it.
Yeah, it was not cool. It was not cool.
Yeah,
it was not cool. Yeah. Well, Isaac, we've come to the end of our show and interview. Is there anything you want to tell people about the fight, and where will it be televised? And people obviously want to know about that as well.
About television, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be all online. I will know as time goes by. Maybe in a week or two, I will know what will happen.
Do you know?
But all I can say, yeah.
The promotion. Do you know what promotion it's under, or because then we'll have an idea?
As I say, I'm sending the contract tomorrow. The previous contract, we have to send it back. So I'm gonna do tomorrow, and I'll be able to say who it is. And hopefully, I will know exactly if it's gonna be on TV or online or something.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, all I can say is I'm really looking forward to this fight. It's been more than a year for me since I was in the ring, and I really can't wait. I really can't wait to get. And this is such important fight for me. I'm very happy for it. I'm fighting a high-ranked fighter, and for a change, I'm fighting someone my own age. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't want to. For now, I don't have that idea of fighting someone who's 21 years old, 22 years old. I want my own age to deal with. So I'm very happy that I am meeting a guy like that, and I'm looking forward to get to Russia.
Oh, one final question. Tony Bellew, there's a rumor that he may come back and fight for the Bridgerweight title. What do you think of your old man, Tony Bellew, the old adversary, Tony Bellew?
No, he's too young. I think he can do it. Yeah, I don't see any problem in that. As long as he's been training since his retirement, if he's been in the gym active, not every day, but if he's been active, and if he didn't get back to that guy who was larger than anything, or even if he is that large, if he can manage to work around it, like we ought people that always talk about, like when I talk to people about Tyson Fury, they always say, but he's big. I said, yes, he's big, but have you seen how he moves that body? Have you seen how he managed to use that body with his size? Yes. So if he can do it, he can do it. I mean, he's still got for cruiser, light heavyweight, cruiser or heavyweight. He's still got years to do it.
Yeah. Isaac Chilemba, as always, thank you so much for talking to BWTM
Thank you very much.
Sports.
It's been great speaking to you. Good to see you.
As well, sir. Good to see you as well. Good to
Thanks.
see you going back in the ring. Sign that contract and see if you can get it for the world title.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I'm looking
Take care,
forward to it.
champ.
Thanks,
All the
man. You
best.
too.
You take care, champ. And there you have it. Isaac Chilemba, the former champion of the world, former IBO champion of the world. He now will be fighting on February the 20th, I believe. And we're going to find more information and hopefully get more information from Isaac in the future. That's BWTM Sports, and we're out. Have a great evening.